Welcome back to the Stoop Football Fans. It's your boy Lolo. I am out in the cold with Mr. Mark here.
It ain't that cold. My heart's. I got a little Satan in my heart this week.
Yeah, you're not cold because you are like on fire right now.
On fire.
So just a little heads up, guys. As most of you all know, it was a rough weekend for a lot of teams, including this guy's team over here.
If anybody want to call bullshit, put it in the comments.
We'll get to all that in just a minute. So yeah, I know Najee's gonna be judgmental on us, but it was a rough weekend, and it is technically happy hour because there's football tomorrow.
That's it.
So cheers. So as you guys know, week 16 has come to an end, and we are quickly approaching week 17. So we're gonna get through all of the matches that we watched this weekend, which was most. I watched most.
You know how many I watch. I talk about it every week.
Yeah. But we will have a strong focus on our weekend watch list, which was Stevie G's return to Liverpool. It was Leeds United, Chelsea, or Chelsea Leeds United, as I should say, and Wolves City. City Wolves. So we'll be getting into all that and covering all the rest, including somebody's team that did okay for once. We'll a quick moment on that.
I got my thoughts on that.
But before we get started, please don't forget to hit the like button while you're here. Hit that subscribe button while you're here. And do share it. That matters a lot. So share it on whatever social media you have, even if you don't have any followers or anything.
This is how committed we are. We set up in the cold in December outside.
You just said it wasn't cold. Stop lying.
It's not that cold because I'm burning up.
So, guys, let's get into it. You know him, you love him, you hate him, but it could get a little boring with just us two and zero facts. So let's bring in Najee, the guy who actually reads the stats.
Let me tell you, I know a couple of things.
Najee, get that shitty grin off of your face, you bastard. Go kick a penalty while you're here.
Hey, how are
you, Najee?
Good, guys. You?
Good.
I'm just
shut up.
I'm just gonna mind my own business today. That's what I'm gonna do.
I think poor Najee.
That's not what we don't pay you for.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna ignore the comments. I'm just gonna say my thing.
Oh, you don't get to do that. This is what people have been waiting for. You have to lay it. It's time to show your cards.
Yeah,
what is it? You have a 10-6, or you got a pair of deuces?
Oh, let's see. God. I was 100% on my picks this weekend, though. 100%.
You were. Yeah. I think Najee, unfortunately, epitomizes all of the crap that happened this weekend. And so Mark is looking at you like you are a Man City fan right now.
No,
he just doesn't.
I'm not.
He's got this.
I'm not.
He's got this Leeds United stare at you going on right now, and it's gonna burn a hole in my computer.
That's kind of true. Mr. Tom, I'm on the you stole one side.
Najee conflicted between smug and we stole one. All right, guys. Well, I know a lot of you who are watching right now would love to talk about Leeds United Chelsea, and I know Mark would love to talk about Wolves City, but I feel those two matches are tied in with some other matches that happened this weekend and some issues, which was in the tagline of the show, which was the big clubs getting 4 major clubs winning solely on penalties, being the only goals or the deciding goals.
The deciders. Well,
in some of them they were the only goals,
but in Leicester.
Leicester doesn't count.
That was a penalty to start it off.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Leicester. We're not even wasting any time with Leicester.
Anyway, we're not wasting any time.
But first, guys, we're going to blaze through all the other matches that took place just so we can get all those out of the way, just so we're not rushing in extra time. So let me bring up these. I forgot to prep this. My bad, guys. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I don't have to prep them. John prepped them. Fucking badass. All right, John. So we are going to start with, why don't we start with Leicester Newcastle then, since it just happened. Leicester actually showed up, kept a clean sheet. Not only a clean sheet, I would have been happy if they only let in one if I was Brendan Rodgers, because they've been giving up 2 to everybody.
But this is Newcastle.
This is Newcastle.
And
Tielemans was back.
Tielemans was back, and he's a big difference. But you know who's back in mind, body, and spirit?
The president,
Madison.
The president, James Madison. Madison, president of the United States. 3.5
president of the United States, which means I don't know my presidents. I know he was a president.
See, I took your word for it. I was like, wow, some weird shit happened back then, huh? That he was Madison, 3.5.
Actually, I think Madison was 5th. But that's a history lesson.
We should probably ask one of my immigrant friends. They all know my wife knows the presidents better. Like, she knows our history better than we do. Yo.
Anyway, James Madison.
But James Madison is back.
Baller.
Yeah, 2 assists and a goal.
Baller.
2 assists and a goal. Pat Sandaka, assist and a goal. Yeah. Tielemans
on the penalty. But this brings them up a little bit of the table. It is Newcastle. We'll just quantify it by that, or saying that.
But as we say, president. Newcastle has some scoring capabilities. And Leicester was leaking goals. So in a lot of my daily fantasy things where I put like a quarter on it, hell yeah, I started Callum Wilson, St. Maximin. I was even like, maybe Almiron, because Leicester been shipping in goals. So anyway, what else are we taking from this? Jamie Vardy's still out. I thought they were just resting him for that midweek, but
that's what I thought too. I didn't realize.
Maybe they looked at it as a give Daka a shot versus Newcastle. We should be fine,
right?
Because they do have to play on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, look, we all know Leicester City can perform that well, and when it's their day, they could do great things. But I think I'm going to put this one on Eddie Howe. Newcastle, he's playing with Almiron, Saint Maximin, Joelinton, Callum. I mean, you're playing with 4 attacking players in this game.
But
you're going up against Leicester City, who is having an issue.
Exactly.
Who's having an issue. So
exactly. So you want it to be a little bit conservative. We know Eddie Howe. He likes to, play progressive football. He likes to attack. But this is not the time right now. You are in a relegation battle. And let's see how this week goes for Newcastle, because it's starting to get worrying right now.
I think this is more. This should be more about Leicester,
Liverpool
because Leicester does this.
Yeah, I agree with
you.
They
go up and down and up and down. Last year they finished on the down.
Yeah.
And it's typical Leicester. Let's hope that they can keep it up, because I think this brings them pretty close to the top half of the table.
Yeah, look, they'll be able to turn this around, because enough teams are dropping points. Like, had Arsenal won their last 2 instead of dropping their last 2, we could be there could be a huge gap. But now Leicester can catch us in no time.
It's just, unfortunately, Leicester's not going to play Newcastle every week.
Yeah. They play Tottenham next week, which probably means a bye, because Tottenham gets a bye whenever they
will not be played.
So anyway,
the COVID is starting.
That's it. Happy for Yuri Tielemans to be back. Not happy for when we play them.
Kind of want to bring him back. I had him on my team for a while, and then when he got injured, I dropped him.
And I like the look of Patson Daka. He was someone I was looking at last season as possibly. Actually, Chris mentioned he would be a good pickup for any team. And Leicester snuck him in.
Dirty jersey.
Yeah, we were like, who? Who are you talking about?
He knows everybody.
Let's move on to one of the other ones. Crystal Palace, Everton. Conor Gallagher put on a show. I don't know if you guys watched that.
I watched it with great interest, because I started Conor Gallagher.
You did?
I did.
I told you to buy him weeks ago, and I didn't take my own advice.
I did buy him weeks ago. Yeah. I bought him well before the very helpful information that Bobby Two Scoops gave me.
And you see, look at their schedule coming up. They've got some runs.
I mean, I'm not going to say that my team is doing well. It actually took a big shit, but got some points.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to understand, how did Arsenal lost against Everton?
That was horrible.
It was 100%. Okay, not 100%.
The 10 minutes where where Everton scored that goal within the 10 minutes around that, they were the better team.
Yeah.
They just can't keep that up. And, you know, when they pulled Richarlison off the floor, off the pitch,
Yeah.
you know, they ended up reverting back to the style that got them down 2-0.
Yeah.
You know, and Richarlison, even though he had the knock, he was slashing his calf for like what seemed like the last 20 minutes of the match. They made sure that they showed you that. But
no,
you know, I just
Arsenal lost to Everton in a perfect storm situation of us sitting back going, we got this, and taking a 1-0 lead with 45 minutes to go, sitting back, and Everton Stadium
right.
being in this weird situation where a lot of them walked out and then the rest stayed because Everton were actually playing better than they had played.
Mm-hmm.
We still should have beat them, but it was this combination of the fans getting excited and the players getting better. And when that first goal went in, the way the stadium was and the way Arsenal was like, oh shit, I thought we were gonna win that one. I knew it. I knew we were losing
the wrong
that.
time.
I knew we were losing
you
that.
know, so
anyway, that was last week.
But Crystal Palace has got a good squad. Conor Gallagher is the man.
But let's not take this. It ends 3-1, but up until the second Conor Gallagher scored that, Everton looked like tying it up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that there was a window where Everton was playing some very, very good ball. There was a window.
Yeah, Najee, they were playing.
And Richarlison gets pulled off, and it's not so sexy anymore.
He got pulled off early,
He got pulled off early because he injured his calf.
But then the guy who came on for him scored, Solomon Rondon.
Rondon did score, yes.
Now he was just there.
Yeah. He was just there. But you know what I'm learning? Sometimes that's all it takes.
That's why
you get to be
people like, oh, Ronaldo is a tap-in merchant. He's in the right spot when the ball comes to him. Chelsea would kill for a tap-in.
There's a million players that you could call a tap-in merchant. Mikel Antonio. How many little fucking lean in and sliding into the box and getting a toe on the ball goals has he scored?
He does a lot of other stuff.
My favorite thing about him.
He does a lot of other work, though.
I totally understand that.
So that's why you wouldn't say that he's a
and that's why I'm not. But you could. I wouldn't.
I would.
But you could.
You'd be an idiot if you did.
Palace
do a lot of things.
Palace will go as far as Conor Gallagher takes them.
Which is to January, where Chelsea calls him.
No, they can't. They can't. He's on loan for the whole season. We can't bring him back this January.
Oh, it's Chelsea. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they'll come up with some rule.
They'll be like, here's $40 million. We're going to take him back. Unfortunately, Conor Gallagher becomes ordinary on Chelsea. He's extraordinary. He's an extraordinary player for fucking Crystal Palace. He goes back to Chelsea. He's just going to be ordinary because he's going to be platooned.
The whole reason he was loaned out is because he's the same exact type of player as Mason Mount, as Pulisic, as even almost Ziyech. They're all too similar, which was why I was like, why buy these players? Yeah. But they ship off a lot too.
Yeah. So. No. They have a formula of success and it works.
We have 30 loan player right now.
Yeah, that's a great problem to have.
Yeah. BX has a good shout right there. He says he's learning a ton under Big Patty V. Patrick Vieira, the beast in the midfield. Could him working with the young Conor McGallagher.
Conor McGallagher and the little people.
He could turn him into a beast.
Mm-hmm. I think he's already there. I think he's already there.
Oof. If he teaches him some discipline, some toughness. The kid's got fight. He's got heart. I think any team would be lucky to have him. I don't think Palace keep him. I think Chelsea bring him back and sell him somewhere else.
I think they recreate Mr. Tom's dungeon and just keep him tied up until game day. And
we thought West Ham
Chelsea
would do that.
Yeah, we haven't seen him for like a few weeks now.
Yeah, we thought West Ham would do that with Jesse Lingard.
West Ham was never going to do that because they compete. That's why United didn't give
Palace isn't a competitor with them.
They're not a top 5 club. They're not a top 6 club.
So we talked about Brentford, Watford on Friday.
Yeah,
didn't
we talked
so
about that.
We're done. So the last one that doesn't fit into the whole penalty conspiracy is the Arsenal Southampton match. So look at that, Jimmy. Learn discipline from Vieira. Not
PMSL.
Not necessarily.
What's PMSL? For a guy that doesn't do a lot of texting.
PMSL.
Come on, Brenner. Let us know.
Sign language. Something about
Please,
sign.
may something.
My shitty life. I don't know.
Pissing myself laughing.
Pissing myself laughing.
Wouldn't that just be
Pissing
PML
myself
because myself is one word?
No,
I don't know.
I think
you kids and your texting, I tell you, give me a landline anytime.
Anyway, well, from older statesman Vieira, not the player Vieira. Okay, that car was going the wrong way.
It was going the wrong way.
So let's quickly talk about Arsenal. Arsenal looked much better without Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on the pitch or in the stands. Listen, that's too disciplinary.
Did you watch Arteta's presser?
Yeah.
They asked him immediately. He's like, I want to talk about the game.
Yeah, I want to
Let's
talk about
the game.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? We just won 3-0. And Southampton isn't nobody. You know, they usually put up a fight with teams, and they usually draw with better teams. And the amount of set pieces that they had every single time, James Ward-Prowse, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And yet again, Ramsdale with some very good saves. No like mind-blowing saves this time. But
no, he was solid. He was solid in the net. I'll give him that.
And he had that one pass to Martinelli that I'm going, score, Martinelli. Give me an assist for fantasy. But if you didn't see that Ramsdale kick out to Martinelli,
it was.
Did you see it?
It was.
There's like excellent. A bunch of guys around him too, and he side. Laser.
No, absolutely. He does that.
And
very
Martinelli
well.
Was on it. Just take the shot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I got a question for the Stoop crew that all 7 of you that are watching our show right now. What's League One?
League One?
No. Like League One.
Yeah, that's
how far down. How far down the tier is that?
That's so Premier League, Championship, League One.
Okay, so it's is it quality? Is it a quality? I mean, I guess
Leeds was there for a while.
Yeah.
So teams Wolves, like that are there.
Wolves, I guess, were there for a while too. But
League One is purgatory.
I can't even remember his name, but this, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of curious.
Anyway,
it was good win for Arsenal. It's just unfortunate that you can't play against a 40-year-old pensioner. The only thing that was missing in the net for Southampton was a recliner.
Listen, it wasn't his fault.
He had lead weights in his shoes.
He gave away the ball, and we almost got a goal.
The shot that Saka had that came off the post. Dude didn't even flinch. He's like, yeah, I'm not getting that.
Yeah, because that's going in like that. Like, what are you gonna do? Dive?
It's just like
then you're on the
he's
ground.
On his phone. It's like, yeah, you're not gonna believe what I'm doing right now. I've only done it 12 times in the last 5 years.
Big up to Willie Caballero for coming in and stepping up and be like, yeah, sure, I'll play. You know what he was doing last week?
Don't make fun of Caballero.
He was training.
Watching.
He was training. He was training with the League One team.
Don't make fun of Caballero.
No, I'm not. I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he had like 12 appearances in 5 years with Chelsea, and lost to these guys in the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to remember. See, I do my research too.
I
was like, who is this guy?
But
he looks like me.
But listen, he steps in. He doesn't know the system or anything.
No, he did. It is obvious he did not know the system.
But you can't say it was on him. That first goal, was the single best play from start to finish that I've seen Arsenal do in, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years.
It reminded me of the old Arsenal when that goal
was old vintage to the point where Lacazette just had to put his foot on it. But even then, he put his foot on it into the right position.
No. I'm not going to take anything away from that goal. And I'm giving you stick.
That's not Caballero's fault. Is all I'm saying.
The goalie was a pensioner. They pulled him off the street. They just withheld his meds. Say, nope, you got to play football first.
He's only 40. I mean, fucking Zlatan is like 42.
That's in some other fucking league. Wait a minute.
Zlatan actually has to run around the pitch.
Compare Zlatan,
whatever
the fuck his name is. I've never seen him play. I've read about him. Did you just compare him to Willie Caballero?
In age, yeah.
God,
as in,
guys.
you're saying he needs a rocking chair. He's a goalkeeper.
He didn't.
Fucking Tim Howard could come back and probably still be all right.
Should have paid him that money.
He's a goalkeeper.
Except for Tim Howard probably gets paid way more than
than the Everton stipend he was on.
Exactly.
No. You're talking about a goalkeeper. Yes, he has to dive and all that, but he's still playing. He's still staying fit. It's not like he was sitting on the couch before the match.
My guess is that he was eating steaks with Roberto Duran. No, I'll stick aside.
The only comparison to Zlatan.
This is how angry I am about
the only
guys
comparison to
their match
Zlatan was
City
age.
Is that I gotta find something to shit on about a very, very solid 3-0 win. I'm gonna say this, and y'all listen closely. What I'm about to say. I've been giving Arsenal a lot of shit by beating these terrible, terrible teams 1-0.
Yeah, we scored more than 2 points.
You took a team that you should have whooped their ass, and you did. And good on the Arsenal. There, I said it.
Yeah, there you go. And I gotta say, 2 disciplinary suspensions for Aubameyang, and 2 matches that we scored 3 goals. The only 2 matches that we scored 3 goals.
This is also true. Is he still the captain?
No.
Does he ever play in an Arsenal uniform ever again as a starter?
Yeah.
You think he starts again?
I think he might start this week.
Yeah.
Against West Ham.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Listen, Arteta's all about rules and this shit. If Aubameyang is actually like, I understand why you had to bench me. It sucks, and yes, I'm pissed off about it, but I understand. I did break protocol, whatever. I'm back in. I'm training. Let's go. Then Arteta will be like, yes, you broke this rule. This was your punishment. You served it. Let's go. Who is going to be best for the team? It's hard to say, even poor form Aubameyang, it's hard to say he's not your best choice up front with his natural ability.
You're paying him so much money.
No, because he is.
And he's done fuck all since he signed that contract.
Listen, no one in the world is saying Aubameyang is poor. Everyone is saying poor form, which means poor form can change in an instant, in one match. I
don't think he's poor form as much as I think he is poor up here.
And if
how can you have such a young, talented team, and that's your captain, and that's what he does? Why are you letting him be that example?
Let me say this: if you take the armband away from him and continue to play him, his form will switch. His form will switch in a heartbeat. I'm telling you, like hat trick first day, he doesn't have the armband. Everyone's talking about the money is when he started playing bad. And to me, it was the armband. Go back and watch videos from last season.
The armband at the same time?
It was near the same time.
Who was?
I think it's like it was Xhaka? And then Xhaka did all that shit. It was kind of forced on him.
David Luiz captain?
David Luiz was captain when Aubameyang wasn't playing.
You guys have something with the captaincy. There's like a curse. Whenever somebody from Arsenal get the captaincy, like there's from William Gallas in the past to Xhaka,
Lauren Koscielny. I mean, Per Mertesacker wasn't bad, but he just didn't play all the time.
Man, Koscielny, the way he left you guys, that was bad. And
I mean, we had Thomas Vermaelen, who never played.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And now
you got to go back to Patrick Vieira. He was our last like solid captain.
Right.
Probably either that or B. Arthur.
You guys had always good captains, like from Tony Adams to David
Adams. Now
Martin Keown,
I'm hoping for another Tony Adams situation where I don't know if you know, but Tony Adams played for Arsenal for like 14 seasons, his whole career.
The guy was like no
which
nonsense.
doesn't happen anymore.
No nonsense.
But I see like a little bit of that possibility with an Aaron Ramsdale, with a Kieran Tierney, even with an Emil Smith Rowe, little bit
too young and not a leader yet,
but somebody who will stay for a long time. Kieran Tierney is my best shot.
Kieran Tierney was my pick last year when we went through our last episode with Aubameyang being suspended because he showed up late to a meeting. This time he just showed up late to training, and I think that's worse.
This wasn't late to training. So supposedly he went to pick up his mom from Spain or some from a foreign country that was all good, but he had to come back the very next day so he could quarantine things like that and get it done so he could be in training. He didn't come back the next day. He came back the day after. Was
he getting matching tattoos with his mom?
That whole tattoo thing, who knows?
And that's a guy who can take a private jet anytime.
Yeah, anytime.
Who was it that they flew in from Argentina on a private jet so he could sleep last week? Or the last
Antonio, that was from Jamaica.
That Antonio from Jamaica?
Yeah.
Still.
Anyway, what were we?
Aubameyang.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Aubameyang. We went on to tattoos.
He was getting his mom.
He
missed COVID and all the things.
Throw him out.
Listen, you're the captain. You do it. You get there. You be the example.
Yeah, and that's why
you have failed to be the example ever since you've gotten the armband. So you know what?
Me? Tony Adams pulling that shit. Like
instead of taking it away from him, Pierre Patrick or Pierre whatever, Alba, whatever. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, you ain't. See, he's not wearing the armband there, and he's all like nice and black.
And you know, he's probably
instead of taking it from him, Alba, give it away.
Exactly.
Award it to someone who you think deserves it.
No, you'd have to be a leader to do that, Mark. In which case, you could keep it.
Right.
It's a fucking loop. Anyway, well done, Arsenal. We're coming up on the half-hour mark, which is the amount of time we have to go through a lot of crap. So, listen, for those of you guys who have just joined us, we are now going to get in the main topic of discussion. And I want to let everybody know in the audience right now, if you have angry things you need to say, go ahead and say them in the comments. We're not going to read all of them out loud while we're going through this. We're going to have a little bit of a discussion, but I promise at the end of the Chelsea Leeds segment, I will take 30 seconds and read through as many of your angry comments as possible. So your voice will be heard and Najee will hear it unless he mutes me. But so fellas,
moving on.
There it is. So we had 4 matches of 4 of the top teams in English football. We had Chelsea, City, Liverpool, and Manchester United, as much as I hate to say that, but they're biggest club in the world.
A top club.
They're probably the biggest club in the world.
Big 6, we called them last season. Big 5 in Tottenham, but they were like, come on, we're a 6. We're the 6th one.
So let's start.
Take your little brother along, guys.
Norwich, Manchester United. Norwich played their hearts out. It's a bit of a soft penalty. Once again, was it a penalty? Yeah.
I'm going to say that of all the penalties that I saw, and I saw all of them, this one was the one that I thought was like,
an actual penalty.
It's a penalty.
Yeah.
It's a penalty. He put he kind of lassoed him in the arm but Ronaldo, smart, led into it. And the player, I don't know who it was against. The player was just like, no, you're not getting by me. You're not getting this one, and threw him to the ground.
Yeah.
Now, how much effort was put into throwing him into the ground, and how much of that effort was Ronaldo going, I'm going to the ground? It was a smart play to draw it, but it's the most It is the most penalty-like penalty of the week.
Yeah, this is one where we're going to come up on a situation discussing all 4 of these matches where I know I'm going to say it a couple of times, but so we'll start here because this is the first one. If it's not called a penalty, VAR doesn't go in and say this, you've made a huge error and this is a penalty. VAR doesn't call it. But since it was called, there's not enough there to overturn it. You know what I mean? It's like the pass interference in, or a lot of these NFL rules where like the call on the field, if it's kind of like a tie,
you got to over the instant replay has to clearly
clear
overturn.
And obvious. Yeah, clear and obvious.
And you have that saying,
and I think this
clear
is
and obvious error. I don't think there was a clear and obvious error
because
here. It was a penalty.
Some referees won't call that. Some referees, like when Raheem Sterling, there were a bunch of times in the Wolves game with Raheem Sterling, and I was like, this referee is doing all right, not falling for his bullshit.
Well, there should have been simulation calls.
He should have been off the pitch for simulation because he dove like 6 times. Anyway, we'll get to that.
He was diving more than fucking Greg Louganis, if anybody knows who that is.
Some referees don't call that one on Ronaldo because they know Ronaldo. And then, VAR will take a look, but there's not enough in that for me that I think VAR calls that. Naji, did you see it?
Yeah. Look, if you're going to give this penalty, you're going to give a lot of other penalties, like in the box when there is corners. You should see what, for example, Llorente was doing with Rudiger when Chelsea got corners. They were holding him from the shirt, and then Rudiger was trying to run away. And
there's been a lot of that in the box that hasn't been called on corners. A lot of that.
And how high was the ball?
Does Maguire get away with it?
Yeah, Odegaard too.
It could, like you said, it could be given. And it's just that it happened to Man United. That's why I'm upset, but it could be given.
I'm upset because to me, watching that, Norwich was the better team.
Wait,
the entire time.
Norwich has been playing fantastic.
Look, I was watching the game.
Picked up Bruce Smith, or Dean Smith.
I was watching the game, and I see Maguire playing, I see Fred playing, I see McTominay playing, Sancho, Rashford, Fernandes, and Ronaldo. I'm like, oh my God, we need to fire Ole today. We need to fire Ole today. I'm like,
oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Check my notes.
It's Ragnick.
We already did that.
Yeah.
Can we hire him and fire him?
It's Ragnick. It's Ragnick, the new manager, managing this game. Well, I've seen everything I've seen from Ole's time. They lacked energy. They lacked intensity. The players that, the players that played in that game had a week. They had a week off. They didn't play in the Champions League. We've seen it was the B team in the Champions League against Young Boys. So they were horrible. They weren't impressing. De Gea was man of the match in this game.
Yeah. De Gea kept him in the match.
He kept him in the game. He's
like the third best goalie of the week.
And then Pukki need to finish better, man. Like, I mean, if they had a better striker, Pukki, he would have had a hat-trick in this game.
Pukki had he had his opportunities and he was making moves, but it always looked like he was one touch over.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rashford,
like the old 70s song, one toke over the line, one touch over the. He was just
and like half a touch sometimes,
and sometimes and you know what that reminded me of was Timo Werner.
Yeah,
Timo Werner always has that one more touch.
Do you think maybe it's because Pukki knows for a fact he's the only hope to score?
I disagree. Josh King. Josh King or Josh Sargent? I get they both signed this season. They're both Americans.
Sargent had an open goal and missed it.
I
Pukki
saw that.
knows he's the only one. No one else on Norwich has more than one goal.
Yeah.
Nobody else on Norwich has more than one goal.
And Rashford and Sancho, they're lacking confidence, like big time. Like they don't know what to do in the final third now. What's happening?
Rashford looks terrible. By the way,
Rashford is about ready to lose
Sancho
his
looked
spot
better.
to Greenwood.
Sancho looked better, and they took Sancho off.
Guys, I'm gonna give
Ragnick. Yeah, I tell you, watching this game, when we were doing the weekend watch list, we talked about it. He talked about Jadon Sancho and said that Jadon Sancho is finally going to get his. And I was watching this match, and
he looked good.
I thought
he's all over the place.
I thought it was coming.
He's all over the place. He finds himself in the right positions, and I felt like he was just going up. And Rashford was just mistake after mistake. And then the board came up, and they even said, I think in the commentary, they were like, "Oh, it's Sancho who's coming off." Like they expected it to be Rashford.
Dude, what's gross?
What was he on?
It was like one of the hover.
It sounded like a motorcycle.
No, it was one of the single wheel thingies.
So
that I would never get.
Anyway, can we move on from?
No, I'm gonna give him.
No, he's got something to say.
Okay. I'm gonna give him until Christmas, and then it's game on with Ragnick. I'm not gonna give him like a month or 2 or 3. This guy.
Oh my God.
No. Because they told me this guy is the magician. Like everybody wanted this guy.
Okay? Well, apparently he's like Tuchel's mentor.
That's what they told me.
No, Tuchel and Klopp.
All right.
Like, but here's the thing. Ragnick is just the interim manager. What he really signed on for is player development.
Yeah.
And so he's interim. He could be fired at any time and be like, "Oh yeah, I still have a job in the organization." He's not the answer.
I'm going to just tell you one thing, because we're not going to do like weekend watch list. I hope they play Brentford tomorrow, because that game might be canceled because of COVID. I hope they play Brentford tomorrow. At home. Brentford at home. Let's see what they do.
Brentford at home is they're a very good squad.
And yeah, Bobby, I agree with you. Sancho's numbers are dreadful right now, but he hasn't been getting a ton of playing time the past few matches he has. But I know it's Norwich, just every time I see them play, he looks to me like somebody who could put up some good numbers. So moving on to the next match, this one was very similar to the Liverpool Aston Villa match. Another one where I thought Aston Villa actually looks like they have the better game plan. They're sticking to it. Salah was getting nothing. Jota even came on, was getting nothing. And this one was, to me, the worst penalty. To me,
this was 100% penalty.
Triggered.
This is
triggered.
No.
This is Tyron Mings didn't even complain. Didn't even complain. It was a bit.
It just looked like
there was
Bremer. Minimal contact.
Bremner, stop that. Don't no.
What?
No. Saying he let his country down. No, we don't. We're not gonna do that.
It's his country.
You got as far as you did with them. It's his country.
Let him be mad at whoever he
wants
to be mad at.
You got as far as you did with them.
But no, Salah, like, now maybe Salah was just protecting himself.
That was a stupid, silly foul. He was like lazy.
Foul.
It was a lazy foul. But this was okay. 95% penalty. Maybe 5% was a meal from Salah. He's falling down and all that. He passed you, guy. Like he passed him. Like,
yeah, it was gonna be a goal. It was gonna be a goal.
It was silly. I mean, look, Liverpool, I think they deserve to win this game. Villa had maybe a couple chances, but man, they missed so many chances. Liverpool too.
Yeah.
This is not like, oh my God, how did they win this game? No.
This one it wasn't as heartbreaking as them beating Wolves, but it looked like another week where, okay, Liverpool seems like they're being out-coached here. That's what it felt like to me.
Who is the coach for Aston Villa now? I don't even.
Steven Gerrard. We did a whole category about it.
That's right. Stevie G. I got confused. Like Kenny G.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. Mark, it's your turn. Let's do it. Let's talk Wolves.
I don't want to do this.
Okay.
But let's talk it. Let's talk.
First of all, can we talk about my Mexican brethren?
Let's talk.
This is coffee talk. I'm verklempt.
Let me tell you something.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I remember when you could smoke at the Copacabana. And now you got to hold it way over here. Let me tell you, arguably the most talented team and the most expensive team ever assembled. We're talking like X-Men here. Assemble! Needs Jonathan Moss and Andres Mariner to win the match for them. Why? Because we want to keep the big six up at the top of the table. You fucking kidding me? You fucking kidding me? That's a handball. You fucking kidding me? That first yellow card on Raul Jimenez.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something too. The second card on Jimenez, look, he deserved it. He knew what he did. But my question is this: when the ball came into Jimenez, why was the city player so quick to point out that that's a foul? Why so quick? Why so fucking quick?
What?
You heard me.
When he blocked it?
Yeah, they're immediately. They it's almost as
know why they did it?
Almost as if it was a tactic.
You know why they did it?
And more importantly,
hold on, the tactic was to get Raul Jimenez to stand in front in an illegal position and illegally kick his foot out. That was the tactic? To get someone else.
Here's what happened. So I'm watching the West Ham game. The same thing happens. A whistle is blown, and the guy goes back away, which is what I've seen so many times in these free kicks.
That's when a guy stands in the way.
I have seen,
and they kick the ball and it hits him.
They kick it toward him. They don't kick it out. They kick it right at him. It's almost as if in the NFL
in the air, Mark.
Because he's like, get that shit out of here.
No, come on,
Shut
Mark.
up.
Mark, look at yourself in the mirror. He went
play against a fucking pensioner in the box.
Oh no.
No, he didn't. He knew what he did.
Exactly.
He knew what he did. But I'm just pissed. I'm pissed because that first one
should be
was
pissed
not
at him.
a penalty. First one was not.
I really thought he wasn't going to give
wasn't
it.
A foul, penalty foul, whatever.
I really thought that he wasn't going to give it. To be honest with you, the penalty. I really thought he wasn't going to give it. Now Jimenez, the first one is not a yellow card, and then he gave him a yellow card. And when he left his foot dragging, at the foul line there, I thought that he was going to give him a verbal warning. Hey, man, I just gave you a yellow card. Don't do
and
this.
You've seen that happen so many times.
But then that right there is the only argument that I feel is valid, is that he had a choice in that moment to go, dude, what the fuck? That's a bookable offense. I just gave you a yellow card.
I would have done this way, but
John Moss took it as exactly what Jimenez was doing, which was that wasn't a yellow card. Fuck you. I'm gonna do this. Now I deserve a yellow card.
Now you're talking nonsense. If I'm talking nonsense about me thinking that
what part of that was wrong,
to saying that you want to be an asshole? Fuck you. You're out of the game.
No.
That is what you are saying.
Look,
you are saying is like he disagreed with the first yellow, so I'm going to act out. And Moss says, "Oh, you want to be a little bitch? Here's another yellow." That's what you're saying, and that's wrong.
No, stop. You need to breathe a second and listen to what I'm saying.
I told him I wasn't.
As Najee said, John Moss had a letter of the law. That is a yellow card.
Yeah.
I just gave you a yellow card. So now, and you saw him, he goes like, I don't know what you want me to do. I have to do that.
Can you explain to me why the same thing happened in the West Ham game and no card? A whistle was blown and the guy says, step back.
It depends. Did he throw his leg up and block the ball? Probably not.
I cannot,
because let me tell you.
All I know is that it was you know what? Here's
because people stand in the way. I'm gonna
put this part of the match to bed. We'll put this part of the match to bed. I don't know enough about that rule, so when he got a second yellow for it, I was kind of like, wait a minute, what happened? But
So
if there's a rule and I understand it now,
yeah, it is given.
Yeah, what?
I said, yeah, stopping a free kick being taken was always a yellow in the past. Normally doesn't bring a yellow in recent times.
If he didn't
but
drag his foot,
that's where Najee and I are talking about.
If he didn't drag his
it
foot,
was so blatant, and that John Moss had the option. It's not really an option because it should be a yellow.
Bobby Stoops agrees with me. Says the behavior goes unpunished, and it went unpunished.
It goes unpunished all the
time. I'm putting that part to bed because, again, as a new fan, one that's trying to understand the game,
I'm saying
I think it was ridiculous. I think it was unwarranted. But if that's the letter of the law, which someone likes to say a lot when it comes to the rules, it's fine. But so we go down to 10 men and we still hold them off.
Look at that. If you make an attempt to play the ball within 10 yards, it's
I understand that now.
Here,
but all
Mark,
I'm saying is
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
After Jimenez gets the first yellow, immediately after, and you see him run up, blocking like that.
Yeah.
Were you not thinking, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't know the rule. I just got done saying that. I don't know the rule.
So what were you thinking when he was doing that? You were like,
actually,
good,
I was fucking raging about the previous yellow that he got.
Let me just say that I was going, what are you doing? Right. You're gonna get sent off.
Okay.
Screaming at him because I want you guys to win this.
Well,
and I love you.
Me too.
Of course you do.
Me too.
And of course you do too, because you guys have everything.
And even the commentators are like, "What's he doing? He's going off. He's going off."
I get it. I get it. I learned. But here's what pisses me off is that I'm reading all the whole City punished the Wolves for Jimenez's mistake.
Yeah, that's
garbage.
Bullshit. That's bullshit.
Much like the handball on Machino. That was ridiculous. So here's the deal. He's going in for a slide. When you go in for this, the arms go up. I've seen it all the time. But he realizes that no, he's not gonna kick it low. So I gotta bring it. And he has to stop himself. The arms go up, and he's like, shit. And he turns his fucking body. Which every time I've seen handballs be debated, it's, he was trying to get out of the way.
Natural position.
His fucking body. Position. And the ball doesn't even hit his arm. It hits the underarm. And now what I've been told, what I've been led to understand, is a handball is below the sleeve. This hit above his sleeve. Even if it was anywhere, you look at it a million fucking times. And that's where John Moss and fucking Andres Marner fucking gave the game to City. They stole it. They stole a point from us. Yeah, Mr. Tom, we parked the bus. Sure. But what do you do against City?
Everybody parks the bus.
What do you fucking do? Look at this shit.
That's actually not a good angle.
Look at this. This is not a handball. He's even turning. He's turning his body away from the ball to avoid a handball. This is what you're taught, right? Right? We got jobbed.
I hate to tell you that.
We got jobbed in the same way that Leeds got jobbed. I hate to tell you.
That's a handball.
Oh my God. You go smoke some more weed.
The problem is it happened about 10 minutes later.
Take my glasses. They're stronger.
Mark, put a red kit on him. And what are you telling me? What are you telling me when I'm saying that is not a handball? Put a red kit on him.
Oh, you're saying if that's an Arsenal player?
Yes.
It's not a handball.
You are out of your mind.
That is
You're
not
out of
handball.
your mind.
There's no way.
Okay, no. Even if you don't. If I'm saying it's not a handball, what are you telling me at this point? Move on and go score a goal. Move on and go score a goal. What, that it's called a handball. It's a handball. I'm sorry. The problem was 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, the exact same thing happened outside the box, and it wasn't called, and Moutinho looks over at him and goes,
No. Moutinho blocks the ball. He's like, I blocked it the same way. Why wasn't that a handball?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking. That's what I just said.
There were handballs all throughout that match. This has been one of the worst fucking weeks for the league when it comes to refereeing. It was atrocious.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say, because I'm going to go, let's move on to the other match where the refereeing was garbage.
Which one?
Chelsea Leeds.
Excuse me?
Since we only have 10 minutes left, I want to give ample time to this one, because this was atrocious on both sides. All 3 penalties were very, very questionable. And I'm very sorry, Leeds fans, to say that. And I'm very sorry, Naji, to say that. But even Rudiger knew. He looked like he was at a comedy show. He was laughing so hard. It was
Rudiger is one of the most intelligent player you could ever have on your team.
He's a thug, and I think he's the dirtiest player in the Premier League.
If Rudiger goes to Wolves tomorrow, you will love him. You will love him on your team, hate him if he doesn't play with your team. And I'm not into moral victories here. And
why would I want Rudiger when I got Connor Cody and I got Kilman and I got Seiss and I got Aitniori, who fucking put Sterling in his fucking pocket?
Yeah,
why would I want that? Why would I want Rudiger? I have a great defense.
I'm 3rd in the league.
Yep, and you were 1st. And my prediction was you fall out of the top 4.
We're only 2 points away. We're only 2 points away. I'm not worried. I'm sitting here not worried. We're not into moral victories. Oh, look, give credit to Leeds United. They deserve a point here. But guess what? They didn't get it. We got away with it. We were lucky. But I need to give credit to Chelsea here. They pushed until the end. Rudiger wanted to win this game,
Yeah. No,
the penalties were poor.
Listen, I guarantee you, Rudiger does not normally get knocked over by that foul by Cleach. It is barely a touch. He feels it. The way he falls down is ridiculous. But once again, this is what Naji's saying. He's a smart player because he sees
the referee. Go back to the dungeon.
The referee is 30 yards away. He's here. There is contact. He falls. He looks down and goes, I'm in the box. He falls down and he goes, the ref is definitely going to call it. And I know there was contact. Is it a foul? Not really. But Rudiger sees the situation. It's a long ball in. The ref is way over there. He's going to see this happen, and he's going to call it.
Look, Glick.
And then they won't overturn it because there's contact. But if the ref doesn't call that, they're not going to. VAR's not going to say that's a penalty.
Yeah.
So that's what Naji is saying.
Yeah. No, totally.
I'm not debating.
I mean, it's a combination of the both of you. That's a dirty trick, but it's also a very intelligent trick. And letter of the law is a fucking penalty.
I'm gonna get him a T-shirt that says
for me, the first penalty was for Chelsea was actually more clear than the second one for Chelsea. To be honest with you, the first one for me, he was silly doing that tackle inside the box because that could be given.
Shouldn't have been anywhere.
The second one for me was lazy. The second one was lazy. What is Rudiger going to do at the top of the penalty area? That was lazy by Click.
I mean, he just really they both put their foot in the same position and he was behind him. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not like it was.
Yeah. And then
but look, Duncan, what you're saying, not all contact is a penalty. I know, but the referee was far enough away that he's going to call it. And then when they look at it, then contact is a penalty. For VAR, contact is a penalty.
And guys, Leeds United penalty is also a penalty. It's wet. What is Alonso doing? It's wet. They're gonna slip. I was like, hopefully he doesn't touch him. Hopefully he doesn't do anything. Alonso, leave him alone. But guess what? He touched him. I mean, this is a penalty.
Dan James got the ball, and Alonso didn't. So.
All three penalty decisions were muck, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the Leeds one was pretty clear.
It was muck.
The Leeds one was clear because Alonso never touched the ball.
I don't agree with any of the penalties.
But Alonso never touched the ball.
The only penalty of the entire fucking week
is the handball.
Is fucking Ronaldo. That's the only one I'm going to agree with. I'm very sorry, everybody. But look, here's the deal. The 2 non-penalty goals by both teams were money.
Guys, Rudiger
that little feed into Mason Mount was beautiful.
Didn't dive. Rudiger didn't dive there. I just want to make it clear. He was touched. He was touched on both penalties. He was touched.
Naji, the man is a beast, right? The man is so strong, right?
Yeah.
Rudiger, so strong. Yeah. So fucking strong.
He got knocked over by a subway breeze.
That touch knocked him over. I'm not arguing that there was contact.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
He dove to the floor, so it is a dive.
No. Look, I'm not.
But it's a penalty.
Raheem Sterling dives without being touched. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Definitely.
He fell over like a fucking house of cards.
Yes, there was contact, but the motherfucker jumped down. It was like, to me, the Mo Salah one. I felt like
you want to tell me that Ronaldo would have fell? Ronaldo was
like he was touched on fucking the Nutcracker.
But he added to it. Ronaldo added to it. Made it like, as if like somebody's pulling him down with like Ronaldo is a fit guy. Like he's not gonna fall like that.
Yeah.
Anyway. But I'd like to address something here that if we have a moment of the match of a like and dislike all in the same moment, I'd like to address Meslier here. Listen, son, I'm gonna talk directly to you, look you dead in the eye. Listen, son, if you're gonna walk up to a Jorginho and try and ice him and talk shit and stand over him, all 6'6" of you and all 5'10" of him, and talk shit and stand over, and you think you're like fucking Emi Martinez in fucking Argentina, you better stop the ball, because all you ended up looking like was a fool.
Especially if you get 2 shots at it.
I know. You look like a fool, son. You stood over Jorginho and you dared him. You tried to do something dirty and try and ice him, and then you got back in your box and you got burned, son. No. Don't do that unless you can back it up.
It's a little
young man.
It's a little tough.
I look, like for example, Duncan is saying best team lost at the bridge. No, you deserve a point. You didn't deserve to win this game.
Absolutely. It should have been 1-1.
1 point. Because Chelsea fought. Chelsea fought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a great game. The penalties
very
absolutely ruined it.
But
it was a good game. I said we're lucky to win, but I'm not into moral victories. If Chelsea lost that game, I wouldn't say like, oh, Chelsea played better, but they lost. No.
And yeah. So, listen.
8 minutes to read these or 2 minutes to read these comments.
2 minutes to read all these comments. Okay, guys. So here we go. We're gonna work our way back.
Are we gonna address them really quickly?
Did Mark get out on the wrong side of the bed today?
Did you watch the Wolves match?
100% he did, and so did I. But we're fighting through it. The boy was brave. I don't know what that is in reference to. Felt bad for Leeds. A lot of these having to do with it's not UFC. Don't touch in the box. It's that simple. Contact, yes, slightly, but his reaction was Oscar worthy. He exaggerated contact. Absolutely. Silly challenge by Cleach, but clearly a dive. Yes. But this all goes back. This all reinforces Naji's comment of he's a very intelligent player. He is a shit starter. He gets into teams' heads and he wins. That's somebody to me who understood the situation of the game and won the game for his team. It sucks and it's ugly and it's kind of fucking cheating, but letter of the law, it was a penalty. Cleach shouldn't have put his foot on there.
No,
he shouldn't have touched it. If he doesn't touch him, he can't do that, right?
It's true.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chelsea conceded 4 penalties this season.
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle 6, which I don't know how, but Chelsea conceded 4. Like, it's not like, Chelsea don't concede penalties, like the referee just gives us penalty or whatever.
Yeah.
We conceded 4 penalties this season.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm this week I'm very tired of the refs deciding the outcomes. And I'll go back real quick to my club here. 5 fouls all day on Wolves, 4 yellows. 15 fouls all day on City, 2 cards.
Depends on the fouls. That's all I can say.
Tactical fouls are bullshit.
And then you talked about Melie. I want to talk about Rafinha, who remind me of Adebayor when he scored for City against Arsenal, and he ran all the way to start trash talking against the Arsenal fans. You remember when he slid that way? You can't score a goal like that, a penalty, and then go start shushing and dancing next to the Chelsea fans. This is, talking about feisty Leeds United against Chelsea.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that, Najee. That was a little like, yo, it's still early. And you just went up 1-0 on a penalty. Yeah. Relax.
And then they're talking after the game that there was a fight and it was feisty. Well, we understand why now.
Tell you what was feisty was that West Ham game. Who'd they play? Who did West Ham play?
Yeah. Burnley.
We haven't even talked about that. Burnley, West Ham was super feisty.
Yeah, that
like
nil,
the end of the match,
burner.
They were going at each other. It was an old school slugfest. The commentators are even like, "This is like it's 1970s again."
I just don't want to.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
They're done for me. They're done. Yeah. West Ham is done.
So guys, right before we end, I just need to take a moment because I found myself at odds with a lot of Leeds fans this weekend because as soon as the foul happened and the 3 points were lost and everyone began screaming how Cleach needs to be gone. He's terrible. Get him out of here. And to me, he was the architect of your tying goal.
Yeah.
Cleach puts in work. I wouldn't be so quick to slate him and to say get rid of him and this guy needs to go, because if you watch that goal, it doesn't happen without Cleach. He gets the ball, does some good moves, makes a good pass, gets the ball back, and then Tyler Roberts is offside. He holds the ball up while Roberts gets back on side.
Yeah.
And then plays him in. And yes, Tyler Roberts had a great cross. And yes, Jaffe gets a great.
I fucking
Jaffe's
loved
run
it.
Made
that.
Chelsea look silly. It was fantastic.
Like, start Gilhart now. I mean, seriously,
he's a good player.
He deserves a look. And one of the funniest things that I thought when they scored was the announcers was, Dan James scores! And I'm like, that's fucking Gilhart, dude.
That's Jaffe. We even know his nickname. And we know why that's his nickname.
And if Leeds United fans, like, Ben and I think Bobby Two Scoops, they were saying that Mount did the same thing. Yeah, but after what Rafinha started,
But listen, don't forget that Mason Mount had been in that exact corner, doing all the corner kicks.
Mm-hmm.
And Leeds United fans were right behind him, screaming in his ear. So he was shushing a specific, to me, and Rafinha had already started it. To me, I loved it. I loved Rafinha doing it, and I loved Mason Mount doing it because it reignites a rivalry.
Yeah,
it reignites this rivalry, and I love it.
We can't forget the 60s and the 70s. I mean, this was the rivalry.
I love it. I love it. I just loved watching it. So,
well, that's our show.
That's our show. Anyway, I'm glad I remembered somebody mentioned Cleach, and I had thought earlier today that I wanted to make that point, and I almost didn't. So I'm glad I was able to do that. It is cold now. We've been in the shade a little bit too long.
Yeah.
And this jacket is one piece of fabric.
It's thin.
So
I think I had this on my bed for Christmas when I was
and you know what I
4.
like about Cleese? He wears those black shoes. Like, I feel like he's in tap shoes or something, or jazz shoes. Like, because you always know which one is him because he's wearing these little like black shoes. Like everyone else gets these Nikes and Pumas and these branded things, and they're like, Cleese, you get these and you are happy with them.
You get the cruel shoes.
Yeah,
held together with duct tape and staples.
And they're too small.
And with a nail in each one.
Like they look too small as well.
For his size,
he
looks like he has tiny feet.
Sizes.
Few things, guys. Few things. First of all, I am not worried. We are not going to concede against Everton this week. That's, very important. And we drew Lille in the Champions League. So I'm a happy camper today.
You drew them
twice. What was up with that?
Cheating, I say.
What was up with that? It was like, they draw. I was like, United is going to play.
I love United.
No. We can't have that this early. We need to have that. We know they're going to advance.
Atletico
so we need the ratings. We made a mistake. Oh, come on. Really?
I can't wait for Atletico and United. I can't wait.
Yeah. There you go, Jameson. I don't care how bad a player plays. If he's wearing our shirt, he gets my support. And a lot of you motherfuckers are going to have to jump on do what Mark has always done, which is have love for Tyler Roberts.
That cross was pretty.
It was good. The run from Joffrey.
I really,
all right, we're out of here, guys.
Dig that he's coming around. That's 2 games in a row. He's played very, very well.
No, like 4.
That's 2 games in a row. He's
I have to say
well.
Anyway, he's made points.
He's got to pick up his daughter from Brooklyn. We love you.
We love you guys. Hit the like, subscribe. Director John, we love you. That is a handball. Peace.